guys, welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. Poch has left Chelsea. I think a lot of us are saying mutual termination. That's what it looks like. Yeah, I mean, didn't really expect it, but here we are. I mean, wow. Yeah. If I want to start off by saying I do think it's the right decision, although a little too late. I think, look at some of the decisions, man. Cole at left back. Phew, that's over. Yeah, well, that's over. I'm starting to get bad memories now. Cole at left back. Some of them was, some of it was basic stuff like formation wasn't great. Playing players out of position. Yeah, I didn't really think it worked with Poch personally. Knowledge the last 5 games were good, but yeah, like without Palmer, where would we be? I don't know. I think we'd probably be around 13th, 14th personally. Also same with players like Gusto. I think if it weren't for about 3 or 4 players, we could seriously be in a relegation talking now. Or if not, if you look at the first like sort of half-season record, then we definitely would have been. But here we are now. We've just got Europa League and yeah, it's too late. Come on. It makes no sense why it's sacking now, to be honest. Not sacking, it'd go now, to be honest. Might not be happy with it. But just talking about, like, before, he really frustrated me as a fan. Some matches that made me, as a fan, just sad, I'm going to be honest. Was Borough away, Wolves away. There was literally loads. Both Wolves games got 0 out of 6 points against Wolves this season. There's been loads of down, and I feel like the up doesn't make up for the down for me, if I'm going to be honest. I'm normally quite negative, and I'm normally quite direct in what I'm saying. I'm normally probably the harshest one. I'm normally quite harsh, but I think the reality of it was that he made too many wrong decisions. If he makes 1 or 2, fair enough. Like, a lot of the season, consistently doing the wrong lineup. I think it's the only sort of last 4 or 5 games that lineups have actually been okay. Even still, I think it was Bournemouth. He was playing Chalaba as a we were doing like a 3-5-2 type thing, where in possession he was like a fullback, out of possession he was like a centre back. I know where he's going with that, but I think with Poch is like, I think in possession, out of possession, I think Chalaba isn't a wide player. I think if you had that player like Gusto in against Bournemouth, probably won by more, personally. But I think there's been a lot worse decisions by Poch this season. But it has been quite bad for most of it. I think there's been, like, people will say, oh, no, we're going to go and Pochettino. Right, it's been 5 games. Do you guys just remember, because I remember myself a photo at these by-the-way games. I look at that and I feel upset, I feel anger towards Pochettino, because I feel like he sort of just, I mean, I know I'm not the one spending the money, but certainly my dad is, and it just feels like all this money from all the fans have been spent, and it's just, we haven't really got a reward. Like, to do our jobs as fans, we pay money, go watch. And then what Pochettino does is 8 times, maybe 9 times out of 10 is just don't deliver us with what we want, and we expect. And yes, a lot of people say, well, 6th is where we should have been now. Okay, but it still doesn't excuse for how late we started picking up results, how bad some of the games this season have been. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like it's been way too many downs to call anything going up. Like, no, like, for me, United will lose. I'm kind of like, I put a £100 bet on that. I do think, so I do think we got Europa League, but I don't like how we're having to rely on Man United losing, who, yes, they haven't been so good in the last years, but are one of the biggest teams in the world in terms of historical or biggest. Don't like how we're having to rely on them to get Europa League. Yeah, like, and look at it like this: we lose against United, we get Conference League. Like West Ham win the Conference League. I think we're a bit bigger than that, and I think we should have secured Europa League a lot longer ago. Or maybe got a Champions League. It's what we were expecting with Lampard. He's Lampard. With Pochettino, who has won, as he hasn't really won anything, but he's been at top level clubs before. I think our expectations are a bit too low. Who do we now start looking at maybe bringing in? I mean, for me, the only thing I can think of at the moment is Tuchel and Mourinho. But is that the right decision? I mean, it is a hard one to tell, isn't it? And I think the owners want a nice up-and-comer. I completely understand that, but I think we've brought in someone to develop the players quite well. I think we've had Potter, Lampard, won't count Bruno, Pochettino. We've had 3 managers that they've tried to do it with, and it hasn't worked. I think for me, bring the experience, bring a manager that's can sort of sign or what. I know the owners don't really want to give him much of a say, which is what I think's happened with Poch. But I think personally that just bringing a manager and maybe let him do 1 or 2 experienced signings, because we're signing all these young players that have got no chemistry together, there's no experience. Or bring in like someone that can just get us results, or even if people are like, oh, we'll take a step forward, even if we get the Champions League, someone that's just going to direct these players, give them a winning mentality. Because at the end of the day, if these players haven't got winning mentality, I can tell you what we'll win. Over the next 10, 20 years, we'll win nothing. And I'll tell you how much we'll win, just as much as a team like Arsenal have. And this is no disrespect to Arsenal, but they haven't got winning mentality. Yes, they've done amazing recently. Is that a fair comment? Yeah, it is for me. But I want a winning mentality in these boys. As I've heard with Chelsea, not Arsenal, I think we need to stop looking at the Arsenal and Brighton path and look at ours. I think every club has got different paths. Yes, we can look at Brighton and Arsenal and say they've done something right. We can look at some of what they've done and be inspired by it. But I feel like we're focusing too much on Brighton and Arsenal, and we need to create our own path. Other managers to bring in, I'm not too sure. I'm going to leave that to you guys to decide in the comments. Can you guys like, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed. Up the chills.